first, I'd like to say if someone is interested to help in this project or wants some information, you are welcome to contact us via email, for example. And I'm now open for answering questions if someone has one or more.
Hello? Okay. Would it be possible to just share bandwidth by relaying the request from the receiver to over the person with the ISP account, and then filtering the packages which are sent to the person with the ISP account, and
Yes.
filtering them. That's simple. Would that not be possible?
You want to know if it is possible to filter the packets that are shared from the sender, or what?
Yes. Well, basically, you would use the person with the ISP account as a kind of proxy server, and make him request a file, and then filter out the package, the packets which are going to him from the satellite.
You want to know if this would be possible?
Yes.
The main goal was to improve at first anonymity of the receivers. So this would be possible to use the owner of the satellite ISP account to use him as a proxy, but this is not the main goal. Mainly he should.
Okay, it's not the goal. Okay,
No,
but it
mainly,
would be possible in theory.
mainly, yes. I guess it would be possible.
It could.
It could be possible. Yes.
Is it possible to change your MAC address to upload some data from an account of another user using ISP?
To fake the MAC address.
Yes.
Yes, possibly you can do that, but you've got the problem. The upload progress is not anonymous when you are not using.
Yes, but if it is both way.
If it is both way, it would be possible if your ISP would allow your MAC address, because normally the ISP is looking for the MAC address. Is he in my allowed list? And if you find a user and you fake his MAC address, yes, it would be possible.
Uh-huh.
Isn't the data sent by the satellite provider encrypted anyway for privacy reasons? And this would be a problem for your approach, wouldn't it?
This is interesting. Yes, if it is encrypted, it really is a problem. But there are two aspects. At first, there are still many providers who don't encrypt their broadcasts.
Which providers do not encrypt?
Net systems, for example. So this is the biggest I know. Yes, the encryption. There's another point. You can also receive these files because the decryption key is into the software proxy the user who wants to receive the files has to use from his ISP. And it is possible to extract this decryption key and share it with other users. So they just need to install the proxy software and import the key. So they would also be, so yes, they could also decrypt these files.
Okay, but does this make the filtering process more complicated?
No, it does not, because just a moment, if you've got this case, then you would have the proxy software of the ISP in front of the whole receiving progress. There you would filter the data for this user, and after that it would be sent to our software. Then it is decrypted, and there you could again search for our ID.
Okay, so only the content is encrypted and never the receiver ID.
No, it's everything encrypted, but the decryption progress is before the search for the ID. So at first, the proxy software decrypts it, and then the whole the whole files or the whole stream that is now decrypted is given to the searching part.
Yeah, I wonder if you got any information about satellites which are out of service. Actually, I got a story about a guy who phoned over voice over IP from the South Pole via a satellite which is not normally working for the ISP, which is just abandoned, but it's still in the orbit, and it's like it's traveling there, and it's function, and people can use it to have a TCP/IP connection over it. So maybe you got information about this too.
Sorry, but sounds very interesting.
Yeah, to me too. But there was a guy at the Off the Hack radio show who just called from the South Pole, and he claimed that they use satellites which aren't normally anymore used by the companies, but ran on the orbit all the time, and you can use them for this stuff here. Maybe you can try to investigate in this. Yeah.
I've got one question. Concerning the ISP side, is it possible to detect from the ISP if somebody is listening on their and putting the cards in promises mode?
No, that's not possible, because it is a passive connection, or not a real connection. It's like the connection you have when you're receiving a television program. You have just a receiving device. Most of these receivers only need a receiving device. They don't have any uplink to the provider, so you can't see if someone is listening in promiscuous mode.
Did you ever try to send unrequested data to an IP address of a user of such an satellite?
We are just testing this with net systems. I guess this is the system we're testing on. I guess it's a problem. So we used the way that that the server selects random packages himself and sends them, so that the sender requests, the sender requests a specific packet, and the sender says, yes, I give you this packet, but it's not this packet he wants. So it's a little bit tricked.
So you can't just ping the IP address and the ping goes over the satellite?
No. I just don't want to say no, but
The idea would be to send UDP broadcasting data like RTP video streams to an IP address you don't own, but which is on the satellite provider, and broadcast your television program without paying anything.
I guess this would make some problems, but I'm not 100% sure. So sorry, can't help you on this one.
So the receiver is in promiscuous mode. Why do you not just use the MAC address of the originator? Why the artificial ID?
If we would use the promiscuous mode, is the only or is the easiest way to access data that is sent to other MAC addresses other than our own ones. Because normally, if you're listening on a broadcast stream, you're only receiving the messages for your own MAC address, which is onto your hardware. So you've got to use the promiscuous mode to access other MAC addresses.
Hello. The question was, actually you are in promiscuous mode and you get the whole packets. And you're filtering all the packets for the artificial ID, which you introduced.
Yes.
So why not just filter for a MAC address of the...
Yes, this would be also a solution, could even be a little bit quicker. It's just, we've at first said the only information we want to give to our receivers is only this specific ID, so that they don't even want to try to receive later transmission from the same sender, because perhaps he wants to send the mentioned holiday video to his friends, but to his girlfriend, he wants to send a few photos or so, but he don't want his friend to receive these photos too.
But if you do it always from the same MAC address, it's obsolete, I guess. So the first time I have the artificial ID, I know the MAC address, so I'm continuing sniffing for this very MAC address.
Yes, you could continue sniffing from this MAC address. This is why the last mentioned sender anonymity would be more interesting, or would disable this function. In the first variant, yes, you could do this, and it would be even more suitable to use the MAC address. But if the server is sending random packages, then you can't filter for the MAC address, because if you're filtering for the MAC address, you get data garbage.
Thank you.
Okay. Then thank you for listening and have a nice day.